Yes, Hugh Hefner has passed away. And now maybe we can look at things from a different perspective and we can get rid of the Monarch programming, MKUltra programming, sex kitten programming that was perpetuated through his magazines and his TV shows. I'm excited. I've been waiting for this day, not literally, but every female in America has at some point had an interaction with Playboy, whether it's finding it between the mattresses of your older or younger brother during a certain period of time, all of the certain type of women wanting to become a Playboy bunny, and of course the infamous Girls Next Door show, which I watched at the time. Not because I was so interested in Hugh Hefner, but because I wanted to see the inside of the Playboy Mansion. I had previously saw the movie Star 80 about the female who died as a result of becoming a Playboy bunny or because of the jealousy involved with her boyfriend and becoming a star and blah blah blah. So just like everyone, I wanted to know what the grotto looked like and just curiosity, and I wanted to know what compelled women to strive to attain this certain level of being famous by getting naked and being displayed on the cover and on the inside pages of a magazine. And of course there's always that, oh, it's done in a tasteful way bullshit, you know? Anything can be done in a tasteful way. Murder can be done in a tasteful way. There's a lot of things that can be done in a tasteful way. There's a lot of things that are done in a tasteful way. What's the saying? You dress up a pig, put some lipstick on it and everything. It's still a pig. It's still a pig. What's the difference between pornography and artistic pictures? Lighting, maybe some gauze, some tulle, some satin, some lace, candles, flowers. What's the difference? What's the difference between a naked breast and a naked breast? My point exactly, there is no difference. And normally in another time and place I would say, hey, if you like it, I love it. I'm not going to knock it for the women who want to do it. And a lot of women say, I want to look back and say I was a part of Playboy. I was a Playboy Centerfold. I was Playboy of the Month. I was a Playboy bunny. I've read a lot of accounts of former Playboy bunnies and centerfolds and Playboys of the Month or whatever. And trust me, the majority of them do not look back fondly. In fact, the majority of them are absolutely forgettable. No one remembers their names or their faces. You might remember their twats depending on when they took the pictures, because if it was pre-80s, it was probably a little hairy down there, if you know what I mean. So yeah, like no one remembers these women or these girls. No one remembers them. No one wants to give them a seat at their table in later years. Like, oh, and our most esteemed guest of the evening is such and such, you know, Molly Rachel Payton, Centerfold of the month of January 1979. Like, no one's doing that. Not on a regular basis. Like, you can't parlay that into chairman of any type of board unless you are doing that with something else. That should be like a side note, like an extracurricular thing. That shouldn't be your whole life. I was a Playboy centerfold. I was a Playboy bunny. And I think that's great. Well, not great. I think that's something to be looked at as an achievement in a certain segment of society. But when it boils right down to it, when you reduce it to its basic terms, it's basically, TNA. And like I said, depending on the era, some big blonde hair or some brunette, long, flowing hair. So it just all depends. So this is the end of an era. It was an end of an era anyway, and now there are some people who saying that Hugh Hefner already died a long time ago, or a few months ago, that his family is just now announcing it. Like, who cares? Like, really, who cares? He was a walking skeleton. When I watched Girls Next Door, I hated anytime he came on the screen. I wanted to burn, like literally burn that fucking robe and fucking captain's hat. Like, to me, he resembled he resembled what's that guy's name from the show? I can't remember that guy's name. He resembled Fire Marshal Bill from In Living Color, the character that Jim Carrey portrayed so well, It's like, really? This is not 1953, your heyday. It's not even the 60s. And I love those eras. I really do. I love the era of the 50s. I love the era of the 60s. But I don't know, to think like they're saying that Hugh Hefner is the unofficial father of the sexual revolution. I would say Hugh Hefner was he was the father of sexual exploitation and sexualization of females, making it mainstream and commonplace by fucking surrounding them with fucking white satin and flowers in the background and candles. Like, anyone could have done that. To me, there was no difference between him and that other guy who ran Hustler. But the other guy was just like, F it. Just lay down, spread eagle, just raw. It's just all about perception. So to me, it just speaks to America. You can put over anything on the people if it's dressed a certain way. You can sell anything to a certain segment of the population if it's dressed up a certain way. And that's just the truth. So, I don't know. Should we put her in a white negligee, a black one, or a red one? And there's been many studies that have shown that color has power, and each color denotes a different type of energy and feeling, and it also translates a certain message to people when they see that color. For instance, red. We all know what red does, and red is a high energy color, and red denotes power, sex, love, a lot of different things, but it doesn't promote chastity or, in a sense, or purity. But guess what does? White does. So the color white. So if I take a girl that looks between the ages of, I would say, 13 and 17, and I put her in a white negligee with a white lace robe on a white satin bedspread with some white roses and white candles. Is it still illegal? Is she still underage? Is she beautiful? Yes. But what's the difference if I take a picture of her naked, just on a bed, or maybe, without makeup, or maybe if I take a picture of her after she's been drinking, or in other words, what's the difference? The subject is the subject, but the difference is how you dress it up. And that's how the news is. It's all about how you package the news. It's never the story, it's the delivery. So if you can catch all of that and it's not going over your head, and you can see that I'm trying to convey a bigger message, then we're on the same page. And if not, thanks for tuning in. Good day.